South Africa's second wave of COVID-19 is sending ripples around the world. It's not so much the 1 million cases causing concern, but the mutant variant of the virus that's driving the surge. Audrey is taking part in a clinical trial of a vaccine, but she doesn't know whether she's had the active jab or a placebo and worries whether she's protected.
This thing is real, it kills, and let's just be hopeful that this vaccine is it, and then we might get it free as quick as possible as the people overseas.
Volunteers in the trial are being regularly screened for the virus, the ultimate test on whether a vaccine is effective against the new variant. But the first lab tests suggest antibodies, not from a vaccine but from a previous infection, are 10 times less effective against the mutant version of the virus. That might make the vaccine less effective, and people who recovered from the disease may be vulnerable to reinfection. But doctors are cautious.
I think there's reasonable reason to be concerned. Should people be frightened right now? We don't know. And we're probably going to have an answer as soon as about 3 to 4 weeks from now, both from the laboratory and possibly even from the clinical trial.
Through the course of the pandemic, the virus has accumulated around 4,000 mutations in the spike protein, which coats the outside of the virus. Most don't matter. But both the UK and South African variants of the virus have a mutation called N501Y in a key part of the spike protein, which makes it easier for it to latch onto and infect human cells. The South African variant also has a mutation called E484K that is causing particular concern because it changes the shape of the protein and may evade antibodies. The UK has had 2 cases caused by the South African variant and has stopped direct flights, but the leading vaccine advisor to the South African government says that won't stop the virus and can't understand why the UK is delaying the full protection of a second dose of vaccine to those most vulnerable to infection. If there are these newly emerging variants around which are more transmissible, what is the risk then if you're only giving people 1 dose?
Greater risk, because it is more transmissible and your immunity is only half of what it should be. So sure, it's going to increase the risk of transmission. I think the variants would be a motivation to go for the double dose.
The UK government says giving just 1 dose to start with spreads a degree of protection to as many people as possible. Audrey will get 2 doses in her clinical trial and can only hope they're effective against the shape-shifting virus. Thomas Moore, Sky News.